Hello, I'm Saber Moshirian, and welcome to the fourth episode of Chronicles, Part 2. In this series, I explore books, ideas, and philosophical insight related to human failure and resilience. Between these main episodes, I also share shorter segments that dive into the thoughts of historical philosophers reflecting on life and the human condition. Today, as I said in the last episode, we focus on a remarkable man, Omar Khayyam, a philosopher, mathematician, astronomer, and poet. Khayyam was a rare genius of his time. In this episode, we will listen to an imagined dialogue with Khayyam himself. Using artificial intelligence, I asked two AI models, ChatGPT and Gemini, to study Khayyam's thoughts. Then I played the role of his student, asking questions. The responses are a combination of both models' interpretations. While the answers are based on information from the internet and may not be perfect, they reflect Khayyam's thoughts and reasoning remarkably well. So, let's begin our conversation with Omar Khayyam of Nishapur.
Very well, I am Khayyam, and I am ready to answer your questions. Remember with all your being that I am neither a divine prophet nor a sage who knows all the secrets of existence. I am merely a human being who is in search of the truth, and I have expressed what I have understood from this world and life in the language of poetry. So come, ask whatever questions are in your heart, and I will answer them with great pleasure. Keep in mind that some questions have no definitive answer, and everyone can answer them based on their own understanding.
Greeting to you, great master. Teacher, tell me, where does all this evil in the world originated?
You have asked a profound and important question. In my philosophy and thought, the issue of evil and its existence in the world is one of the fundamental questions that has always occupied the human mind. The world, by its very nature, encompasses both elements of good and evil. You see that life is always accompanied by challenges and suffering, but you must realize that many of these experiences lead to a deeper understanding of life and truth. From my perspective, the world is a reflection of the combination of good and evil, and these two are, in a way, necessary for each other to find the true meaning of life. Human beings are born with free will. This freedom allows us to make choices, but our choices may lead to good or evil. Although God is a benevolent and wise creator, He has given us the choice to make decisions in our lives. This freedom is one of the foundations of the true meaning of life. Our wrong choices can lead to the emergence of evil. Life is inherently uneven, and we are all in search of happiness and peace, but the nature of life teaches us that we will experience suffering and pain. These sufferings and problems teach us lessons and make us reflect. This is the philosophy of fana annihilation, passing away, in which a person must learn to become greater than suffering and get closer to the truth. So, in the end, evil has come into existence as a part of human existence and the world, and our duty is to accept it and move towards truth and light.
My dear teacher, why is life inherently uneven?
The answer to this question can be found in several aspects. The universe operates based on natural laws, and these laws sometimes work in our favor and sometimes against us. Seasons change, day and night alternate, and these natural changes are a part of our lives. For human growth and development, experiencing a variety of emotions and situations is essential. Joy and sorrow, success and failure, are all part of this experience. If life were always monotonous, humans would not have the opportunity to learn and grow. Relationships between people are complex and always involve challenges. Love and hate, friendship and enmity, are all part of these relationships. This diversity in relationships also, in turn, causes life's unevennesses. Humans are searching beings and are always striving to achieve goals and perfection. This effort to reach perfection is accompanied by obstacles and failures, and this is what makes life uneven. Remember that life is like a long journey in which we encounter various obstacles and challenges. Nothing in this world is constant, and everything is changing, and how we deal with problems and challenges determines the quality of our lives.
When I fail in life, am I the only one who has failed? Am I an unworthy person? And do other people never fail like me?
You have asked a profound and humane question. In life, failure and disappointment are an inevitable part of the human experience, and no one in their life is immune to these challenges. Failure is possible for every human being, whether big or small. Everyone has their own stories of failures and challenges. Even the greatest and most successful people in history, such as poets, philosophers, and scientists, have faced obstacles and failures throughout their lives. These disappointments are part of the path of growth and learning and remind us that life cannot always go smoothly and successfully. Most people experience challenges and failures in their lives. This shared experience is what connects us and forms the essence of our humanity. When you fail, remember that others have also faced difficulties in their life journey. This point of non-contradiction in our human experience not only does not leave you alone but also connects you to a large group of people. We all fail sometimes, and this is not a sign of inability or inferiority. On the contrary, these experiences can usually help us learn valuable lessons and become stronger. Failures remind us how to continue, be resilient, and stand against problems. You are not alone in this experience. Many people may appear successful on the surface, but beneath the surface, they may also be struggling with similar challenges and failures. Each person has their own unique circumstances, abilities, and challenges. Just because others do not voice their failures or they are less visible does not mean they do not fail.
Mr. Khayyam, have you also experienced a great failure in your life that deeply saddened you?
Fail. In my life, too, like any other human being, there have been moments of despair and failure. During my life, as a poet and scientist, I faced issues that sometimes seemed beyond my abilities to comprehend. For example, in the search for truth about death and life, I sometimes did not reach the desired conclusion. This feeling of failure could sadden me deeply, because I was searching for knowledge that formed part of my identity. Another difficulty in my poetic life may have stemmed from the fact that whenever I wrote a poem, it might not seem to me that I had properly conveyed my feelings and philosophy. This feeling of inability to express oneself may have arisen from emotional fragility. Poets know that every poem is only a step towards eternity, and sometimes this lack of deep connection can break my heart. Experiencing social and political challenges has also affected me. Sometimes I feel that my society does not have the capacity to accept new thoughts and ideas, and this can bring me feelings of loneliness and deep sorrow. Also, witnessing human suffering and torture around me, such as the death of loved ones or the dark and gloomy states of society, has always broken my heart. These sufferings are not just indicative of my weakness, rather, they are something universal that reminds us of empathy.
You, who are a philosopher, if you were to act exactly according to the philosophy you have expressed, what actions would you take after experiencing failure?
If I were to act precisely according to my philosophical teachings, I would consider the following steps. The first step is to accept the reality of failure. I would look at failure without pretense, not hide it from myself, and accept the reality of failure. Instead of denying it or escaping from it, I must accept this truth and analyze my feelings about it. I would accept my feelings, allowing emotions such as sadness, anger, or despair to be fully experienced. These emotions are part of the human experience, and suppressing them would harm me. After that, I must seek the root causes of failure. Were there problems in my decision-making? Were there factors outside my control that had an impact? A realistic analysis of the factors that led to failure can help me learn from my mistakes and prevent their recurrence in the future. My philosophy reminds me that in every failure lies a lesson. Therefore, I allow myself to learn from this experience. As a poet, I use words and literature to express my feelings. I may use the beauty of poetry to process painful experiences and disappointments. This not only helps me get rid of my emotions but can also evoke a sense of empathy in others, as they may realize that they are not alone. After processing the experience of failure and learning from it, the next step is to set new goals. After identifying new goals and actions, I must act. This action can include small steps for improvement, whether in personal or professional experiences. Also, at this stage, I create a system of support for myself to seek advice and support from my friends and loved ones. I also try to help others, and through this, I achieve a sense of usefulness and enjoy every moment of life and be grateful for the blessings I have. Finally, I remember that no one is perfect, and failure is part of the journey of life. I remind myself that life is limited and that I must live with anxieties and failures without blaming myself for them. This philosophy not only calms me but also gives me the strength to move forward with hope.
But you always talk about pleasure and drinking wine and say that life is nothing. So, why do you care so much about your failures?
You have raised an interesting question that apparently you see a contradiction in my words. Allow me to clarify this contradiction for you. In fact, my philosophy about life and its pleasures deals with human contradictions, including the richness of experiences and their simultaneous occurrence with pain and despair. Let me clarify a few points about this issue. In my poems and thoughts, the importance of moments of pleasure and joy is emphasized. I believe that life should be a rich and vibrant experience. This reminds us that we should enjoy every moment of life and accept bitterness along with gratitude for the beauties. Life is full of contradictions, joy and sorrow, success and failure, beauty and ugliness. Emotions such as happiness and sorrow exist alongside each other. Taking failures seriously is part of a deeper understanding of our humanity. Failure and disappointment teach us a lesson that life is not just about pleasure-seeking and superficial enjoyments. To reach a deeper meaning of life, we must also learn from pain and challenges. It is these very failures that help us appreciate pleasures more and feel them more deeply. Failure teaches us that life does not always go according to plan, and we must be prepared to face challenges. I view life as a journey in which all kinds of experiences exist. Whether great pleasures or bitter failures, each is part of what guides us towards growth and higher understandings. These experiences help us become better human beings and reach a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Dealing with pain and failures never means ignoring or downplaying pleasures. Rather, it is a kind of indication of the reality of life. In fact, I say that we should take advantage of joys and celebrate them, but we should also face our failures and pains and learn from them. These two aspects complete my philosophy. Life is a balance between enjoying the present moment and planning for the future. We must attend to both our spiritual and physical needs and our long-term goals.
Considering your philosophy and perspective, if I experience failure that is due to the inherent instability of life, nature, or evil, meaning it's not my fault, how should I cope with it?
When we face failures that are due to the unstable nature of life, nature, or even evil, it is important to adopt a philosophical and self-aware approach. I suggest considering these steps. The first step is to accept the reality of the situation. Accept that life is full of instabilities and uncertainties. This helps to avoid denial or blaming yourself for the occurrence of events. Self-criticism for conditions that may be beyond your control will not help. Then, analyze the causes and factors of failure and increase your self-awareness. Have you made any mistakes in your choices or decisions? Were there conditions that naturally affected you in such situations? Reviewing the values and principles that you have defined for yourself is very important. Does this failure align with your beliefs and goals? This review can help you rediscover your path. When faced with failure, stronger emotions may arise. Allow yourself to experience these emotions, but at the same time, remember that you are not alone. Similar people also struggle with similar challenges and problems. Cultivating empathy towards yourself and others can help alleviate your pain. Then, act on your new learnings. Instead of dwelling on the past, move forward and take small but effective steps towards improvement and progress. These practical steps strengthen your sense of empowerment and self-confidence. Remembering the inherent instability of life can also help you. Understanding that nothing in this world is permanent, neither joy nor pain, makes you look at life with a broader perspective. Even failures may lead to new successes. But regarding the role of evil in this, it must be said that the concept of evil is one of the most complex philosophical concepts. Some believe that evil does not exist and that what we call evil is actually the result of our ignorance or mistake. Others believe that evil is a force opposite to good and exists in the world. From my perspective, It does not matter what definition we have of evil. What matters is how we deal with it. If we believe that evil exists in the world, we must strive to reduce its impact on our lives. This can be done by doing good deeds, helping others, and strengthening our own spirit. Ultimately, the most important point is that we are not alone. There are always people who can help us. Seek help from your friends and family, but alongside all of this, you must remember that accidents and coincidences are part of life. Many life events happen randomly, and we cannot control everything. Evil is an undeniable reality, and evil exists in the world. And sometimes innocent people fall victim to it, and ultimately, the meaning of life lies in suffering and pleasure. Life is a collection of good and bad experiences. Suffering and joy are both parts of this experience.
If you were to teach me a method that I could use in life to have more acceptance for the events and problems of life, what would you tell me?
Know that acceptance is the key to peace in this turbulent world. I, who have spent a lifetime in thought, have come to the conclusion that resisting the flow of existence is like trying to dam a river. It is futile. Now you ask yourself, what should I do to have more acceptance? First, remember the passage of time, whatever is, will one day be gone. Happiness and unhappiness, victory and defeat, all are transient. Like a shadow that falls on the ground and moves with the movement of the sun. So why attach your heart to something that is not lasting? Reflect on the greatness of existence. In this vast world, we are but a speck. The events that happen to us, compared to the greatness of existence, are very small and insignificant. Reflect on your role in existence. We are only travelers in this world. We have come to learn, to experience, and to leave. Every event that happens to us is an opportunity for growth and learning. Do not speak of the wisdom of existence. Why find a reason for every event? Sometimes, events happen for no reason. Trying to understand everything can make us tired and confused. Enjoy the moments, instead of worrying about the future. Enjoy the present moment. Every moment is a gift given to you. Spend time with friends and family. Being with your loved ones brings you peace and reminds you that you are not alone. Seek knowledge and wisdom. The more we know, the better we can cope with unpleasant events. Get close to nature. Nature teaches you that everything is in a cycle and that change is part of life. Remember, acceptance does not mean surrender. It means facing reality and continuing life with all its difficulties. Like a candle that shines in the darkness, you too must keep the light of hope burning amidst the difficulties. And finally, know that you are not alone. We all face problems in life. But those who overcome problems are those who have learned acceptance.
Great Master, if you were to recite one of your Rubaiyat that could be helpful when failure occurs, which Rubaiyat would you suggest?
Whenever you face failure in life, take refuge in my Rubaiyat. Among them, there are Rubaiyat that can bring you solace and peace in these moments. Here are a few Rubaiyat or poems that I suggest to you. First, a Rubaiyat that refers to the passage of time. Since life comes to an end, whether sweet or bitter, once the cup is full, whether in Baghdad or Bach, drink wine. For after you and me, many a moon will go from waning to waxing, and from waxing, it will return to wane. This Rubaiyat reminds you that everything in this world is mortal, and even the greatest joys and sorrows will one day end. So why dwell on failure more than necessary drink? For your hour may never come. Listen to the ballad of the reed. How it wails out its sweet complaining ditty. Since yesterday, this day's mortalit why they did indict. This Rubaiyat reminds us that we must enjoy every moment of life and live in the present moment instead of worrying about the future. They say the lion and the lizard keep the courts where Yamshid gloried and drank deep, and Bahram, that great hunter the wild ass, stamps o'er his head, but cannot break his sleep. This Rubaiyat shows that even the most powerful individuals are helpless against destiny. So it is better to look at what has happened with peace instead of resistance. I think this Rubaiyat can also be a reminder to you that nothing is permanent, alike for those who for today prepare, and those that after some tomorrow stare. A muezzin from the tower of darkness cries, "Fools! Your reward is neither here nor there."
From your poems, it is inferred that you were a nihilist or an existentialist. Was this the case?
The question of whether I was a nihilist or not is one that has been asked of me many times over the years. Some believe that my Rubaiyat speaks of the futility and meaninglessness of life. But is that really the case? Let me reveal the secret of my heart to you. Throughout my life, I gazed at the stars, delved into mathematics and geometry, and pondered the mysteries of existence. In these thoughts, the grandeur of the universe and the smallness of humankind led me to reflection. But did these thoughts lead me to nihilism? No, I never believed in nihilism. Nihilism is the death of the spirit, and I had a living spirit. I enjoyed the beauties of the universe, I enjoyed friendships, and I enjoyed knowledge. What I expressed in my Rubaiyat was, more than anything, realism. Instead of taking refuge in vain fantasies, I faced the bitter and sweet reality of life. Death, the passage of time, and the impermanence of the world are all undeniable truths. But these truths do not mean futility. In fact, I believe that people should enjoy every moment of their lives because life is short and death lurks. We should benefit from the beauties of nature, from love and friendship, and from knowledge. All of these can give meaning and value to our lives. But alongside enjoying life, I also valued thought and reflection. I believed that humans should seek to understand the universe and their place in it. This search gave me peace and contentment. So, O youth, if you see signs of nihilism in my Rubaiyat, remember that I sought to express reality, not to promote despair. I believe that humans can have a happy and fulfilling life even in a world full of adversity.
Mr. Khayyam, what meaning did you find for your life, and what was your goal?
The truth is that I never had a specific, predetermined goal for my life. I was more interested in discovering the secrets of existence and understanding my place in the world. I sought knowledge. Mathematics and astronomy were a window for me to understand the laws governing the universe. The more I learned, the more I realized the greatness and complexity of the world. This knowledge gave me peace and contentment. I sought beauty. Nature, art, and love are all manifestations of beauty that I enjoyed. I believed that beauty is one of God's greatest gifts to humankind. I sought friendship. Friendship with cultured and thoughtful people helped me to expand my thoughts and reach a deeper understanding of the world. But alongside all of this, I was also aware of the bitter and sweet reality of life. I knew that death, separation, and suffering are an inseparable part of life. However, I never despaired of life. I believed that we should enjoy every moment of our lives and make the best use of it. Ultimately, I came to the conclusion that the main purpose of life is to enjoy the beauties of the world, acquire knowledge, and connect with others. I believe that humans should seek a balance between enjoying life and fulfilling their duties. I came to the conclusion that knowledge is the key to happiness. Acquiring knowledge and awareness helps us to better understand the world and enjoy life more. I also realized that the passage of time is inevitable. Death is a part of life, and we must be prepared for it. What is important is that during our lives, we do good deeds and leave behind a good name. I was also aware that life is full of hardships. Pain, suffering, failure, and death are part of life, and we cannot escape them. The world is a place of injustice. In this world, wealth and power are distributed unequally, and many people are deprived of the blessings of life. Despite all these hardships, I hope that humans could unite and build a better world for themselves and future generations.
Okay, that's it for today. This was my imagined dialogue with Khayyam himself, using artificial intelligence to study Khayyam's philosophy. Thank you for listening to this episode of Failure Chronicles. You can follow the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Castbox, Apple Podcasts, and a bunch of other platforms. Until next time, farewell.